In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And their religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up and coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel were the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said He would send plagues upon the earth before He frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today and call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K Jamaica. Shalom. Shalom, Israelites. This is I.S.U.P.K Jamaica, started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, 1969. The I.S.U.P.K is run today by Commanding General YAHANNA, the man with the rank and the authority to be the leader of the nation of the Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans at this time. Want to say Yahweh Basham Yahweh Barakatah to the brothers, Yahweh Shamar Alatan Basham Yahweh to the sisters. Now, today's topic, you notice what it says, let God be true and every man a liar. Why are we saying that? In Jamaica, there is so much controversy now arising because of religion. What we are finding, look here, just find the thing there, send it to me now. Send it on WhatsApp. What we are faced with today is we here in Jamaica, so much opinions. Because if it's something that is not in the Bible, then it's just an opinion. So when we go on the streets, boy, trust me, we have opinions. We have been knocked with, well, I shouldn't say knocked. We have been faced with opinions. And it's not, these are not even righteous opinions. You know what you would say like a righteous opinion? For instance, a Hanukkah. That is like a righteous opinion. It's a day given to us not by the Most High, but by our forefather who was celebrating the high holy days of the Most High. And we have gone back to the Most High. We have gone back to God. And our temple was down, and the temple was rebuilt during that time. And they say, you know, let us make this a national holiday. And we celebrate it every year, and we call it Feast of the Dedication. That is a righteous opinion. But when you meet a man on the road and him tell you, you know, we all are Ethiopians. Yeah, man, we still have to lick it because it's out there. So we stuck at it. It's, you know, we all are Ethiopians. And we need to go back to Ethiopia. No, we when you examine that, you know, then you use the term repatriate. What repatriate be? Look for the word repatriate.
Repatriate. Send someone back to their own country.
Right, to go back to your own country. Right? So you are now saying Ethiopia is your country. When you say we need to repatriate to Ethiopia, you're actually saying Ethiopia is your country.
Right.
But the slave trade, the North Atlantic slave trade was not concentrated in Ethiopia, was not there was slave trade in Ethiopia, but not the North Atlantic slave trade. The slaves that were traded up that side went mostly, they went in Europe and other North African countries, like in the Arab world. And of course, you will, by now you're supposed to know who were the slaves. Because after Jerusalem fell, boy, it's only one set of people became, prior to the fall of Jerusalem. We used to have other nations who lost war and end up in slavery, you know. But you see, when we lose our kingdom, it's like there's a whole lot, man. One set of slaves now. And that is us, Israelites. So you meet a man on the street and then tell about repatriate. Well, if you want to say repatriate to West Africa, that is where the slave trade used to concentrate. Senegal, Ghana, even if you want to say Nigeria. We might can debate you, still beat you, but at least we can say, okay, fine. The slave ships that came around here came from that side. But no, when you tell me about Ethiopia, how did we and the West here come from Ethiopia?
That's where US slaves are, the people who they sold as slaves in Ethiopia. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, our people. Yeah, so what you say, man?
I say, so if we repatriate, we must repatriate back to the same position then.
To
be slave.
Excellent point. Because that brings me now what I really want to get into. Tigray. Tigray, the province of Tigray was the province that has been ruling Ethiopia for thousands of years. All right. Ethiopia, slavery is an institution in Ethiopia from them time. Slavery is one of the oldest institutions in the world. Slavery, prostitution, and what else? Them two main things. Because from man start to war, man. whenever you overthrow a man kingdom, you normally take him and it was generally the warriors who was taken, who were the soldiers, would have been taken into captivity. All right. Then after a while, they start kill out the warrior them, and enslave women and children. So the children then start grow up in slavery. Our people now became that kind of slaves when we went into the land, chattel slavery. In the time in the time of the judges, we weren't in chattel slavery. Chattel slavery is when they put you in a chain and you can't run away. In the time of the judges, it wasn't chattel slavery that we were faced with, It's what we would call today oppression. The Philistines and the other nations, Moabites, all of them, Amalekites, they would come in a country and take over your cities. You still you still live in the country, but you have to pay taxes to them. And it's like how you have the cities now and take for our city down here, Mapen. You have the businesses, the building, they would force you out, and their people come in those buildings and do their business. And you were forced to now go and be the flatfoot hustler on the street in your own country. Right. Kind of like what we're experiencing today in Jamaica. But that wasn't chattel slavery. Chattel slavery though is when they put chain for you and carry you going away land for you to go. And generally chattel slaves work outside in the field. Can work inside too, but generally those are field slaves. The Ethiopian province of Tigray, which has been ruling Ethiopia for thousands of years, have institutionalized slavery. Even when they became Christians in, I forgot the year. And no, it wasn't at the time of the eunuch. Ethiopia became Christians something like 700 or 800 AD. They took on Christianity as their national religion. All right. And they have even the church then had institutionalized slavery, meaning the church back it and say, yes, it's divine, it's righteous for you to do. All right. During that time, that was after 70 AD. 70 AD, Jerusalem fell. We fled into all the countries that were around at that time and all the bushes that you could find. We fled into these areas for hiding. When we were hiding, you have, just like how you see them go down in Sashamani and below, war down, war pass, you get the feeling, say, okay, at least they're not on, we start build up back some semblance of civilization. And one of our blessings is that we breed enough. So population start grow. These nations we were encroaching on their land start to invade our Amish kind of as a life, take us as slaves, sell us. Tigray was a farming area, Farming was a big thing in Tigray. Who you think used to work the fields? Got to be us. Because we were the ones who, one, we were strong slaves, and two, readily available. Yeah, we didn't have anybody to back us. Just like how now we have the cops Well, you know, thanks be to God, we don't see it happening right now, but the cops will just kill the blacks in America, right? Out here too. They used to do it in Jamaica until you have Indicom. It used to happen in Jamaica until Indicom came about. All right. So when our nation invade our little homage towns and things, we never have anybody to defend me.
Yeah.
And because we had no one to defend us, we were taken off in slavery. Nobody not really sorry for you. Don't ask me why. But then this was how the Most High punish us. All right. Now, when these men now start to sell us off and slave we off and thing, they start to get rich. So Tigray had become the rich province in Ethiopia. All right, you know, in America we have they call it's an obelisk in Washington. They call it the Washington Monument, I think. They call it obelisk, you know.
Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The obelisk is a phallic symbol. You know what's a phallic?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. Near the Google definition. Phallic, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one can. FALICK.
Try that now. I don't remember how it's spelled.
See that this is vocabulary.com. Phallic.
How it's spelled?
This one spelled PHALLIC.
Well, hopefully it's the same definition, but I think the one we're talking bigger than that F. What do I say?
It said phallic means resembling or relating to a penis.
Right.
Yeah.
So they have this. It portrays male dominance. It comes from Egypt. Tigray province, the Tigray town, are one of the oldest obelisk. They call it obelisk outside of Egypt. So that shows you when Axum was in its heydays. You know, you have that in there, and you have the slaves in the field and thing. And of course, we were the slaves. Fast forward to 1942 now. Haile Selassie take away slavery. The subsequent kings before him have been trying to abolish slavery because the West has abolished slavery 100 years before them. He came and he abolished slavery in 1942. When he abolished slavery now, there was no compensation for those who had slaves. So they wax poorer and poorer. That is why the Tigray region now is so poor, because they can't profit off slavery. Now they are warring the government to take over back the country. What do you think they're going to do? Huh? If they were rich from slavery, what do you think they're warring the government to do? So that they can go and go buy tractors? They would need to wire the government to buy tractors. They wire the government because they want back slaves. And you know who that is going to be. So you want to go to Sashamani? Well, be my guest. And one of the worst things, the people that are portraying Ethiopia is the motherland and Ethiopia is this and Ethiopia is that, they are not going to Ethiopia.
Right.
They're not going. Ethiopian World Federation, which is now the 12th tribe arm of the Rastafarian group, they are the one who spearhead the return, they call it, to Sashamani, or return to Ethiopia. Now, that arm of the Rastafarians have white people, Chinese people, Indian, any nation who wants to come and serve the king. And none of them nations, they're not trying to go to no Ethiopia. But then tell you, the black man, of course, Ethiopia is our motherland. You know what it's coming like? Oh, you mean out of many, one people? I come and say, of course, all men are created equal. But that is the politics behind it. So they're telling us that, and then we take ourselves going on and build up civilization down there. It's two things happening, you know. One, they want to accelerate the repatriate, the extradition, what we call it again? Deportation. Because if the Tigrayans come in, chances are you might go join with them. Because you are portraying the former king, that he is the rightful ruler. So chances are you might go join the Tigrayans. Let's say you go and join the Tigrayans to defeat the government in whatever form, whether it by war, support, whichever way. You plant food, feed them, whichever way. Now, you join the Tigrayans and the war done. They have some slaves on their hands. Right? And if you go and you join with the Tigrayans and the Tigrayans lose, what do you think the government side going to do with you? They don't want to deport you again. They want to prison you. Right. Charge you for treason. Or supporting, what you call it, and a coup they would have called it. Maybe that's a support coup attempt. All right. So if we side with the government, it's not good for us. If we side with the Tigrayans, it's still not good for us. So how is it our motherland?
Right. What claim we have to that land?
We have no claim to that land. Right. All right. Give me Romans 3 and 4. I trying to reason this thing and see if I can find what kind of reason would make you want to go down there. So because biblically you have no roots there. The Bible is our history book. It doesn't lead, the Bible speak of Ethiopia. But the Bible also speak of Moab. Right. The Bible also speak of Edom. Right. The Bible speak of every nation. Why is Ethiopia you take on to? Right. Huh? You can migrate and go and live elsewhere. Because many of us have left Jamaica, live in Canada, England, America, other countries in the Caribbean. Trinidad have a lot of Jamaicans. Even when the Iraq war in Bush time, I think it was Father Bush, there were some Jamaicans who was caught up in where you could place the name where the Saddam go overthrow. Yeah, so that caused the first Gulf War. What the little province the name again, man? It was a part of Iraq, and they took it by war, by force, from mainland Iraq. No, man. It's recognized Kuwait. Kuwait. Yeah. Okay. There were Jamaicans living in Kuwait. So yes, you have the right to go and live wherever you want to live, providing that they will accept you and give you some citizenship. But the grounds on which we want to go to Ethiopia is unfounded. Yeah. Because the grounds we want to go to Ethiopia is not for the same reason that we would want to go to Dubai. I would want to go to America to live, to work, and better ourselves. We say we want to go back to Ethiopia because that's our motherland. God. And many Jamaicans who have gone to Ethiopia, the first set who went there as pilgrims You know, like how them say they want to send some man on Mars with the aim to not come back. You hear about that? Really? First I hear that? Yeah, man, they say they want to send some pilgrims to Mars, man. Yeah, so they must go there and lay the foundation. But they know when they go there, they won't be coming back. Well, it was the same thing, right? Those first other Jamaicans who went there to not come back. Some have come back still because after a while they realize the dream is not as it has been spoken of. So then come back and keep them out shut. But others have fall into the trap. And we have seen it. And because we are the watchman for our people, we can't keep our mouth shut. Right? We have to let our people know that you are heading into a trap. You're heading into a bottomless pit when you talk about you migrating to Sashamani or to Ethiopia. Because you're going there with the intention that it is your land and you have the right to live, to go back home. Right. So why you not try that with the real Jerusalem? Try to go back home now. That's the way white man then do you.
Imagine somebody come in an area and claim that he have rights to your area, you can't run him out.
I can't run him out. Romans 3 and 4 say what?
This is the book of Romans chapter 3 verse 4. God forbid. Yeah, let God be true, but every man a liar. As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sins, and mightest overcome when thou art judged.
All right, let God be true and every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sins, and so on and so forth. All right, now what this scripture here was talking about is it comes off a similar thing, because it's the same fight we have as what Paul was having. What advantage then at the Jew, or what profit is there of circumcision? That is verse 1. It's just the same thing while we were in Rome, or the provinces, the various isles of the Greeks who became Roman isles now. We were saying the same thing. Say, what will I come back to Jerusalem for? What's the profit in coming back to Jerusalem? To that land. We're living good life out here, blah, 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 blah. Right? What advantage then at the Jew? So basically they were there, but they didn't see what was the advantage of being a Jew. Right? But Paul went into it spiritually and bring out what was the advantage of being a Jew. Today, it's a similar thing, because the Rastas, them know them, they are Israelites, but they don't see the advantage of being an Israelite. What they in subconsciously they are, yeah, I mean an Israelite, but well, that's not even subconsciously, it comes out of their mouth. Yeah, I mean an Israelite, but Ethiopia had one of the oldest civilization on the earth, you know. Yes, but is it yours?
And if they are Ethiopians, what advantage is there in being an Ethiopian?
What advantage are there in being an Ethiopian? All right, we love talk about them are the oldest civilization. As a matter of fact, if you are going to give them credence because their civilization is older than yours, then you need to give every single civilization and every single nation credence over yourself. Then, why am I say that? Lick me with it. Why did I say that?
Because all the other nations in the Bible, and them older than our nation.
Give the brother. Every single nation older than we. We are the youngest. We were the last to be formed. We are the wash belly.
Yeah.
They ever make us so spoil. They say what? They say wash belly pit is spoil. They ever make us so spoil. Every single nation was formed before we were formed. So you can't look and say, why? And you know, it's the same thing that those men who take on to Kemet. It's the same thing they say. Kemet civilization was before the Bible. So what if it was? Is it yours? Why, I tell you. So that's why we have to be saying that every man, because all right, there's a conflict between what the scripture says. The conflict is really in their mind. To you, in the truth, there's no conflict, because you understand, right? But here now, all right, let's look at what Paul was saying. Verse 2 him said, much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of God. So that is the advantage of being a Jew. This is the advantage of being an Israelite. Yeah. Because even though those other nations older than you, the Most High did not show them his ways. He did not give them his laws. He gave it to you. Huh? Yeah. Think of your parents now having 12 children. You was the youngest. We Benjamites were the young. All right, we Benjamites are the youngest of the 12 tribes, you know. We are the wash belly pit, you know. Yeah. Out of all the Israelites, you know. Right. And look at the flavor that Jamaican has given to the world as Benjamite, the Trinidadian with the Calypso. Hey, we're talking about reggae going away. You know, Calypso gone. Some Jewish man copyright that, you know. Yes, man. Say for the music. Anyways, that was just a sidebar. Benjamites, look at the flavor we give, being the last of all the 12. Huh? The same thing with we as Israelite, man. We are the last nation to be formed. But we give the world flavor. The 12 tribe is what? The scripture tells us that we are what? The salt of the earth. Yeah. So how comes we get caught up in this thing now, giving praises to them other nation? Right. All right, let's look on some. We'll go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 28. We'll touch some scriptures there.
Start at 1.
1 minute. Right, read 1.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee an eye above all nations of the earth.
The Lord thy God will set thee an eye above all nations except the Ethiopians.
Above all nations of the earth.
All nations, including the Ethiopians.
Right.
Including the Africans.
Right.
Right? We need to find back that tape. You know. We need to bring out that part where the same people in Sashamani, where the Rasta man say, you know, we're doing little, we did play it. Yeah, we played last week. Where him say, want to teach them hygiene. We talked about that last week. Yeah. Right. So he says that the Lord thy God will set thee an eye above all nations of the earth, including the Ethiopians. Yeah. So if the Most High tell you, say, praise me, I I raise you up to be the ones in the earth who bring praises unto me. I will give you my laws, and I have shown you, given you my laws, and I have shown you my ways. Right?
Right.
Keep my ways, and the entire earth is yours. Right? So this was what Satan used to tempt Christ, So rather than going through all these things to inherit the earth, you can get it right now, Just bow down to me. You don't need to go through these 40 days of self-affliction. Just bow down to me and you get all of this. Temptation. So, the Most High promised us to set us above all nations if we keep His commandment. Drop down to 15.
God, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
All these what?
Curses.
Curses. Same thing what we call crosses.
God.
Yeah, people say, what crosses you follow me? Same thing we call crosses out here, man. All right. So the Most High say, we have the covenant with him. Him say, keep my commandments and the world is yours. Don't keep my commandment and all these curses will follow you.
Right.
And what are these curses? 16.
God. Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
So, all right, think of country and town. Cursed shall thou be in the town area, and cursed shall thou be in the country.
Right.
Now, you look how far we go find one country bush named Sashamani. And what follows down there? Crosses. Crosses follow down there. To the point now they're going to have to leave. And it's coming. It doesn't matter of time. Leave all that they have planted there. Let's say they don't have to leave. And they do get to stay there. It's just a little population of them that is there going to get it, And for them to give that population that is there, that citizen status, they will have to assemble parliament and change the constitution.
Yeah.
And here they're saying the best of circumstances is next to impossible. Why? Because the parliament contains representatives from every region in Ethiopia, including Tigray.
We differ and not agree on certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Selassie did change the constitution, but Selassie's what do they normally call it? What of the constitution again? Reform, constitutional reform. Selassie's constitutional reform was more geared on expanding the parliament, expanding the rule. So, in other words, like Jamaica, we have 63 persons that represent the entire Jamaica. Each person represents a political bordered area within a parish, right? We call them MPs, Member of Parliament.
Yeah.
All right. See, as a similar thing with Ethiopia. So even Tigray, which is in war now, would have to convene in that to change that constitution. Ethiopia don't even recognize other Amite countries, other African countries, to give them citizenship. They don't recognize persons outside of Ethiopians. All right. Which means you have to be of the bloodline.
God.
Because how are you now going to get citizenship if you're not born? Okay, you can't even say if you're not born there because the Ethiopian who is born outside of the province still can get him citizenship as long as he don't become a citizen of another country, right? Meaning that whether man or woman, they go and marry persons from another country, like those who are migrating to America. Let's say they get citizenship for America, they would have lost their Ethiopian citizenship. All right. Our brothers and sisters who from Jamaica and other areas in the world now, originally it was Jamaica, but now we have England, Canada, all about. And they have gone there blindly. Oh, you know that? Because it's after they have gone there, then they realize that they can't get citizenship. Right? And many of them go there with the intention to not go back wherever they are from. Same like the Jamaicans. Right? And they are in turmoil. That is 16. Drop me down to 68.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And this is what it says. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
All right. So the Most High will send us into Egypt again. And this time we're going into Egypt because ship.
Yeah.
Now, in case we never know, them Ethiopians, they put many of our brothers and sisters on these ships. Right? Selling our brothers and sisters into bondage to the Arabs and to other European nations. Right? And for themselves to work in their fields in Tigray. All right. So, by the way, whereas I spoke unto these, those are see no more. And the way which we got these words was through the land, Canaan, the promised land. And of course, we haven't seen it anymore. So that's true, we are away from our place. We weren't in Ethiopia when we got this. We have never been into Ethiopia wholesale as a people. Many of us has gone there occasionally. And they have always been enslaving us because even in the Bible, the Ethiopian eunuch, he was a slave. That's why he was a eunuch. They cut him balls. They get him. He became a gelding. But that did not stop him from becoming a servant or coming back as an Israelite to the Most High.
Yeah.
But what was done to him to make him a eunuch, his slaves they do that too.
Right.
So they have been enslaving us long time. Probably that's why the Most High said them are gonna feel him sword. Because they have always seemed to be always dipping in the Most High's bucket, taking out his people to work in their farms. Because these eat, and this is the thing they don't tell you all the things when they used to show you the starving Ethiopians and them dying and things, they don't tell you everything, because a lot of those starvation came as a result of Selassie abolishing slavery. They had to free the slaves and they have nobody to till the soil because they were nobles. They're not going in there to do it themselves. So after a while, their money run out. Just let go. What happened in the West was that they compensated their slave owners, right? Give them money for the slaves which they lost. So their personal economy, they didn't went into famine. They didn't became they weren't famine. They were economically okay. But the Tigrayans now, they went into famine. And when they start to clamor, and this what I tell about now is when Selassie was alive. When they start to clamor and Selassie for, give me some compensation or something, I mean, just ignore them and leave them, and them make starvation, kill them out. Right? So that was one of the conflict between him, because he's a Tigrayan too. The lineage of king come from Tigray. And when you look at the Tigrayans that are fighting now, they look just like him. But he knows the forehead and so look just like them. They are original Amite people. Probably Nimrod. Probably Nimrod come from the region they too. Right? But that's their business wherever I want to come from. So the Most High said that we will be sold to our enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. Now, these Amites sell us to the white man, who is the oppressor today. And blindly, these Rastafarians teaching our brothers that we are brother to these Ethiopians. You have a next set who call in America call themselves Kemets, who are teaching our brothers that they are Egyptians. Right. There's so much confusion. But at least the Rasta, they have a little knowledge to know that they are, before them saying Ethiopia, know that they are Israelite. The Kemets don't call themselves Israelites, They don't. But at least we call ourselves Israelites. So, that there is that little connection that you can come back to, that they can come back to. Right, so we'll be shown to our enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. Bondmen and bondwomen means slave. So you were sold for slaves. So that is in the Bible. All right. Psalm, how again? 147 now. 19 to 20.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
All right. So the Rastas know that we are Israelites. So here the Bible is telling you that the Most High show his word to Jacob, and his laws, which is his statutes, and his judgment. The judgment is a punishment for breaking the laws. Just like the Jamaica laws have judgment too. That is what the judges study. And by judges, I'm talking about the court, when somebody carry to court or you commit yourself and or you false, or even if you're falsely accused, once you go before the judge, you have prescribed judgments that they follow. For instance, you were caught stealing, but maybe the judge see and don't like you. Say, oh, I know the man a long time, You know, long more thing come in front of me. Sentence him to hang him, boom. Right. He can't do that. You can get a death sentence for stealing. Right. So that shows you that there is judgment. Another thing, all right, this man, you know, because we can use this situation with the pastor. But we don't know what crime he commit. We don't know what is this crime yet.
So yeah. I think he still lead people to another God, idolatry, calling himself God.
No, I'm not talking about under Jamaica law.
Oh,
What crime they going to charge him for? I don't like how him cut the woman throat. It wasn't he who cut the woman throat. All right, so let's not use him because they don't charge him for a crime yet. Use somebody else. Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee seemed to get rid of to get off what the charges of what the gun that they found him with
yeah.
was also linked to some other cases. We can show you say this was the gun that committed these crimes. However, to amount of years that he got, show you that he wasn't charged for those. And even if he was charged, he wasn't found guilty. Why wasn't he found guilty? Because of the way in which the information was obtained. They trick him.
Yeah.
And by tricking him, our laws says you can work undercover and can become a man. Understand?
Yeah.
If a plainclothes police around and you're doing something, I have to say to you, I have to caution you and say, I'm a cop. Careful what you're doing. You get me?
Yeah.
These are so because they are prescribed judgments in Jamaica. Now, it's the same way that our laws of the Most High have prescribed judgments. For instance, under our law, which the Most High give it, this pastor man is guilty of what?
Idolatry.
Idolatry.
Yeah.
Is guilty of idolatry. So, by our law, what is the judgment for idolatry?
Death penalty.
It's a death penalty.
Yeah.
So, this is the aspect of our laws that is not in effect right now. Because we can go take him up and sentence him to death for idolatry and kill him. Then you will be guilty of murder. Right?
Yeah.
So the Most High shows his laws and the judgment for breaking his laws unto us. We teach it. We Israelites, all 12 tribes, he taught these judgments. Person caught in idolatry, what you're supposed to do? Sorry, not idolatry. Adultery, what you're supposed to do? Put them to death.
Yeah.
But what Christ did? Christ basically because Christ saw what we never see at the time. Christ knew that Jerusalem was going down. Remember in the temple, he said, even though the axe is laid at the root,
Yeah.
to hew down the tree, he was talking about our temple being overrun by the heathens and our society being wiped out. And that did happen after Christ. Not immediately after Christ's death, but they get rid of Christ, get rid of all him disciples, them kill, who fit dead by, then fry some of them too. You know, they had a penalty that we have killing some of our brothers, our saints. But they had the pot oil and drop you in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. There was one, because the Christian, they used to say, you know, Christian, you are the light of the world. You know what they used to do? During dark night, they just, you're going to catch a whole heap of you and they will execute you. They string you up on the road and gas you. So what do you think happened after that?
Light up the place.
Thank you. This
You're
was
talking SHALAM, so you're talking like Willie Lynch time and them time.
nah man, from the time of Roman and because remember say them hunt we know. They hunt our steps. What do you think those scriptures was about? After Jerusalem fell, they hunt the lineage of Aaron and they hunted the lineage of David, well, Solomon in particular, because David had other sons. But the ones who came through Solomon, they hunted our steps right up to right now. If they can prove that, if they can, you come up like make Selassie get invaded because him stupidly can call himself um lineage to 200 and sitting another offspring of King Solomon. Rome say, you know, like, we want to find the people here.
See Rome will discharge
See Rome will destroy Jerusalem. That was what got him invaded. We played this song last week too, with what's name? Culture. Culture said the Eden want to take the ark from Ethiopia, but the ark cannot be taken now. You can't take it because it's not there. So the back to 147 is saying he shows his statute and his judgment unto us Israelites. Those judgment, the Edens now trying to follow it under Muslim, they call it Sharia law. The Jewish man, the white man, him not following the judgments. Right? Because you go to if you're caught in adultery in Israel, you're not put to death. But yet still they will tell you that they don't accept Christ. They don't accept Jesus. But they don't execute the judgment from the laws, and they are saying that they are Jew. That's why they come and say, I am Jew-ish. You understand? Yeah. What makes them the ish is that they take on to your culture. So the ways in which we were supposed to be ruling the world, they have it. They are using it. They run the United Nations, they control the banking systems of the world, and so on. When you look at North Korea and South Korea, the South Koreans say, all right, we're going to side with the Americans, and their economies flourishing. Why? What kind of science did America have so much? North Korea say, no, we're not taking on to the Americans. We're going to take on to the communists. Why didn't communism flourish?
Yeah, because America rule the earth right now for them time for rule.
Yes, but the communists had power, they had military might, they have oil. Why didn't their economy grow? Huh? China is communist. Why is their economy growing? Because China, you know how much white man do business in China? Yeah. You see all this banking thing that's about to lick them. You know, that is the white men, a lot of the whites running those banks. The debt crisis that is looming over the world. Yeah, which probably I thought start or kick off the first war that will come out of this pandemic. Yeah, probably that debt crisis is going to cause it, right? Yeah. But what is happening is they have these ishmen of our culture. Is it they use and enslave we? Is it they use and running the world now? Is it they use and running the banking system? So, if you remember, if you watch America, if you study America history, Black Wall Street, right? That idea of trading and making money after they mash up Black Wall Street, is it they bring to the Wall Street you have now, which is the money maker in America. So it came from us. All right. So these are the knowledge that the Most High would have given us to fulfill Deuteronomy 28, verse 1, to make us be rulers of the earth, right?
God.
But these are the nations now who take us over. They have it. They study us and they get it. All right. So verse 20 says what?
Canada one God. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147 and verse 20. He has not dealt so with any nation, and as far as judgments, he have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
Thank you. So the Most High has not shown his ways to the Ethiopians.
God.
That's what it is telling you here, because the only people in show are the Israelites. He has not shown his judgment to the Ethiopians. He has not shown his judgment to the Egyptians. He has not shown his judgment to the Jewish man.
God.
He has not shown his judgment to any other nation. And it says, praise ye the Lord. Why? Guess and tell me why it says, praise ye the Lord.
David basically said, thank God.
Thank you. Like good I say. So and so happening, you know, thank God. Me ain't go down there. Like what Cecilia said now. Thank God me didn't get caught up in that church there. And you know me meet him? Well, it's the same thing right here. Praise ye the Lord. And the main reason is when the time comes out for the Most High to redeem his people, had he shown other nation his ways, he would have to redeem them too.
God.
Hence we can say, thank God he never did show him statutes and judgment to them people. Them don't know them who keep in Sharia law and things. We Israelites can say, thank God they didn't get it right. Because the Most High has not shown his ways to them. How the Most High show him way to them? Read the Bible and it will show you. How we get to find a lot of these people amongst us who were committing grave sins. The Most High himself exposed them. Right? From the time of Moses come all the way down. David, when David committed his sin, David was so skilled, David covered it up, you know.
Right.
It's only David, some of David nobles would have known what is going on. His bodyguard would have to know, because when Bathsheba come sleep with him when the husband at war, they would have to know that. Right? Like the morning when I don't know if you ever hear the story. Buckingham Palace, a couple of years ago, they caught a young man coming out of the Queen bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the morning guards caught him. Look like he move asleep.
Oh, what's there?
So they hold him and they touch news. They say, hold on. They when they dig deep now, they say, we can't charge this man. Because how would I get past that? So how would he pass? There are several checkpoints he'd have to clear before he reach where he reach. They have to let him go. The Queen boyfriend, man. They see if they with Solomon and Bathsheba. So David and Bathsheba. When David covered his sin, who exposed it? The Most High did that. And sent his prophet unto him. And let him know the graveness and the seriousness of what he did. Luckily for David, he is of a repentant heart. Him being a king, he wasn't a man like Saul who think he's high and mighty and, or what's the word now, proud.
Yeah.
Right? David went into repentance immediately because David angered anybody else except God, the Most High God. Right?
Yeah.
That is the spirit that he taught us as a people. Right? Whenever time we reach into adversity, we know who to turn to. When the Indians the other day had their time of adversity with the COVID virus, what they did, then go to the temple, and when they see it don't work, then dash it away. Mm. So bit by bit, right now, the Most High is going to show us in teaching us back our old ways, in helping us to put on our garment, right? That these are His judgment. We don't have the right. We can't execute it now because we are under other laws. You are under the law of whichever country you are captive in. So we can't execute the Most High's judgment, but we can follow His laws. In other words, Him say, don't eat pork. What was the judgment for eating pork back in Jerusalem? Could be a death sentence, right? What was the judgment for sleeping with your brother's wife back in Jerusalem? Would be a death sentence. What is the judgment now for eating pork? Nothing. Except high blood pressure. But you still get high blood pressure. So in other words, you don't die, but you still get high blood pressure. What's the judgment now for sleeping with your brother's woman? You don't die, but cross is right. Your brother, so unless he catch you. So unless Joe can get catch, he will survive. But him lick you with other sickness, him lick you with problems beyond measures where you can't manage that get you down. Right? So this is him still showing you his judgment. You end up COVID, Jesus please. Almost everybody who COVID catch it left you with sugar or diabetes or something. So this showing the Most High's judgment is still there. Right? So He have not shown His judgment to other nations. But the time is coming that they are going to learn. We are going to teach them. All right. Take me to Isaiah 52, 1 to 2.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 52, verse 1. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion. Put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city. For henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean.
Right. So this, you are as an Israelite now. I've been given this command by God to what? Be awake. And say it twice. Wake up. Wake up. Put on your strength, no man. Why you move so feeble, man? I know so you used to stay, man. You ever have a virgin like that where you want to your virgin, you take him one side and you talk to him. And you say, want to your virgin, man. Remember when you used to use a fire, man? Want to, Or worse, if you talk like a goodish with his girlfriend and he come and say, boy, I want him to so and so, but he come like a little boy, I go down. I carry him one side and say, boy, I remember when your girlfriend they used to tell me, oh, you have fire, man. I want him to you, man. So that is us. The Most I tell Isaiah to tell us, wake up, no man, put on your strength, man. What happened to you? How you going on in this situation? How you get in this situation to be saying Ethiopia your home, man? Wake up, no man. Right? Now this is the Most High reasoning with us. Awake, put on your strength. You have a beautiful garment. You know how beautiful is your civilized your culture. Put on your culture, no man. Right? So we are the Jerusalem that he's talking about. For henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. So I tell yourself to wake up because times are changing. Them dirty things are not going to happen amongst we again in a man. And if you get caught up in other side, then you're go dead. Wake up now. Verse 2.
God, everyone can. Verse 2. Shake thyself from the dust, arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from the bonds of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion.
Shake thyself from the dust. This is God made man from the dust. Made Adam, sorry, it's Adam. Made Adam from the dust.
Yeah.
What did he make? What did he use to make Adam raise up from the dust?
Giving him his laws.
Gave Adam his laws.
Yeah.
That was what when he said blow into the nostril of man the breath of life. That is the laws. And here it is come again. Shake thyself from the dust.
Yeah.
So it's not somebody now the most I going to send to come and teach you the laws, you know. You teach yourself.
Yeah.
And how you're going to teach yourself? You're coming to the truth.
Right.
And learn it. I don't know nobody take you up care you're coming to the truth. True or false?
True.
Right. Now you take up your phone and make a call.
Yeah.
So why, once come see what this is about. So this is your first step. And this is why we don't really run behind anybody.
Yeah.
To say, you come in the truth, we invite you. Yes, man, now come on. We ask man, I real thing this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You see him 4 times and you say, hold on. But you know say I come. You say, boy, you really are coming up. I don't know why I hold me back. That's none of your business.
Yeah.
We in the truth, that's not our business.
Yeah.
It is his duty to shake himself from the dust.
Right.
We can show him how. Where your foreparents used to say, you lead the horse to the water, but
You can't force him to drink.
you can't make him drink a back foot. You can only show him. So these rastas now, we can only show them what the Bible says and things, you know. We can't make them don't want to go to Sasha Mani. Right? We can only do our part, which is clamor on them. Don't go, don't go, don't go. If you go in, don't go because you think it is your homeland. Just go because and then don't have the money for that. You know how far that place there? No one plane ride can't carry the
Back part Africa.
top, we up. There's a top side. Right? Yeah, we are not back in there. And when you go back, you still have to go up more. Right? Because if where they took us from on the west, if you go straight across, you're on the east side. But you have to go up, further up to find where Ethiopia is. And yet still the curse still follow you there. So this is why the Most High big if you wake up.
God.
Shake thyself from the dust, arise and sit down. Why it say arise and then you go back and say sit down?
You have arise from the dust.
You arise from the dust, meaning that you get back your strength, you start follow what the laws and you come back in you. So why it say sit down?
Sit down now, sit down on the ground, you sit down like on a chair or a throne. You know what I mean?
No. Give me a little more than
I guess the metaphor of that now means rest.
Right.
I mean, when I go struggle like one time again, I sit down, I'm comfortable, I rest now.
All right. What are we waiting for today? Thank you. That's why you sit down.
Yeah. Okay, class.
Wait.
Okay.
I wait. Not only, it's not a physical sitting down.
Yeah.
Right? But it's telling you to wait.
Yeah.
Then it's where you choose to believe, to do something like what them, like you read about a man in India who hold up him hand like this. I don't know what I'm trying to show him people. Have your hand up in a ear for years. More than 2 decades. Yeah, no come down. They don't ain't go any entire they must lay down. We don't know him try to prove. Say Jan can stay up, him can do whatever he want to do, maybe I let him try to show. So suppose you feel say no, you have stand up till Christ come. Because the scripture says sit down and say, I don't have to sit down, you can't stand up.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm telling you it's not a physical sit down it's really talking about.
Yeah.
It's more spiritual in that. All right, what is your you when since you're coming to the truth, what is the zeal in your spirit?
When
Spiritually, or you're feeling like you want to go back home now, don't? Ready for Jerusalem. Yeah.
God.
You're ready for stepping into oppressor neck.
God.
You don't get that feeling that when I do your trainings.
Yes, man.
I want to give them some, oh, they know, uppercut. Want to give them some uppercut, some hook, and some straight punch. Right? But it is saying, put on a beautiful garment, but no. You know, clutch. That's sweet. Sit down. O Jerusalem, loose thyself from the bands of thy neck. What is the bands of the neck?
Like shackles.
Shackles, the slavery.
Yeah.
So this again is even spiritual because we don't have physical shackle on our neck. You know, so when we did have the shackle, the actual shackle, we were a freer-minded people.
You know who enemies were.
Yeah, and you know that if you break out of the shackle and reach up there, so you're free.
God.
But now you don't see the shackle.
Like they shackle up our brain now.
And it's worse than when it was on the neck.
God.
Right? So it is saying, loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion.
God.
Why? Because we are in a captivity now.
God.
Every Israelite in captivity, regardless of what you want to think. Right? So you want to go into Ethiopia, you're just trading masters.
God.
That's all they're doing, trading masters. Because they don't know how to sit down. Relax yourself. Right? That time is coming when you'll be taken up. Most of your daddy have some chariots there, see, man. That even Benz no ride so sweet, you know. Not even Bugatti nor what their name? Bentley and but the Americans they have the what them big bomber name again? The B-52.
Yeah.
The B-52 is the one that can the plane that can fly right around the world, you know. It can up in the sky for days and just take its fuel up there, you know. Anyway, so they interview a B-52 pilot one time. What it is like in flying a B-52 plane. And say, all right, think of the most luxurious car you can drive. A Bentley, a Lamborghini, a Bugatti, whatever. Tell me one. Which are the car that's a dream car?
I mean, one of them Benz cheap there. Benz, I mean, the car Benz, what I mean?
The Benz.
Benzema.
Yeah?
Benzema.
So, again? You know the SUV Benz.
Benz SUV Benz,
Yeah.
right? Which one you would say? Which one would you say? Rolls Royce. Well, all right. Him said, think of your dream car times 10. That's what it is like to fly in a B-52. Well, I'm telling you, your father have some chariot rides sweeter than the B-52.
Yeah.
So just sit your ass down and wait. You go up on you take a Ethiopian airway where you can just drop out of the sky because the white man never selling the good plane.
Yeah.
And you're dead before you even reach.
Slap your sir. Look at them military pilot there. Them have, you know what I mean, cases where they actually see the chariots there.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So,
but many of them said they couldn't speak of it because
God.
they became blacklisted.
God.
Because they say,
A sign
we didn't pick up any such thing on the radar.
Yeah.
And then you say you see, that means you have been flying too much. We can't put you back up there.
Yeah.
So that was it, They believe that because they have been flying so long, they are seeing things. So the authorities who they report to now start to blacklist them from flying. So then the pilots get smart now. And say, I know what I saw. So all I'm going to do is keep my mouth shut.
Okay. So that you have an official come out the other day and he must say every day because he's involved in the world, aircraft and the military.
Mm-hmm.
So behind the scenes, man,
Mm-hmm.
every day then get report I see them every single day.
Well, guess what? Many of those which they are seeing is from ESA's Space Force.
I tell you about ESA Space Force, I say it,
Those that are saying it are
Force.
in this. They are not in the Space Force because the Space Force is still secret,
Air Force.
The Space Force is still secret,
Okay, good.
We don't even know where them base gonna be yet. We know the Pentagon probably have a ton. What you call a six-sided figure now? Also, or turn they become like a dawada. It called Pentagon because of the five arms which make up the force,
Yeah.
Air Force is just one. The military, the Air Force, yeah, man, it's 5 arms tonight. That's why I call Pentagon.
Okay.
Yeah. And then design the building the same way. So each arm, the head of the Air Force there, so the head of the Navy, the head of the Army. Then you have a group, I think Republican, I think we call the guards them there again.
National Guard.
I think the National Guard will be one. Because the National Guards are soldiers too,
Okay.
But their training is geared at fighting at home. The others are their training is geared at fighting off American soil. So, so there's some crabbit fighting that.
Okay.
Right, because you're not fighting your own that time. All right. So it's 5 arms. I remember all 5 of them. So pretty soon it's gonna be 6. Well, maybe right now it is because
where is those arms?
In America.
Okay.
They worry about the Pentagon, which is the head of the American Army,
Okay.
the American military forces. Yeah.
Oh, them base in America.
Yes, man, back home, the man in Washington.
Okay.
Straight name Penta, which means 5.
Yeah.
So,
Big state then.
yeah, so each arm of the Pentagon is responsible for one of the arm of the American military. You have the Air Force, you have the Navy, you have the Marines, you have the
Okay, so each one belongs to
the Pentagon. Pentagon have the arm with the monitor that they set there. So now I'm saying it's gonna be now 6 arms because I have the Air Force now. So we don't know. Air Force One commander the American Air Force. You have not Air Force, Space Force. Yes. Those sightings probably are the technologies that they have.
Air Force,
What?
I have a plane named Air Force.
They want to carry the president.
Air Force.
Yeah, man. And it's the military man them run that plane too. And soldier control it. Yeah. And they have the copter, the helicopter.
Yeah, the helicopter.
And they have the vehicle.
Actually, the vehicle go on the airport, go on the airplane when they go certain places, certain countries.
Right.
But drive over the country.
Right.
Plane a big.
Right. So we are, the Most High say we should wake up. Come out of our sleep. read between the lines of the politics of the enemies. You have to look at that. Don't tell us, awake, awake. What our strength was to see the politics of the heathens, and realize that we are above their politics.
It's like, yeah, when Obama they come to Jamaica and they bring the vehicle up on the plane though.
Remember how his thing went, because I don't know big plane they carry from. I don't know big plane they carry Obama, Obama.
But a Air Force they can't in Jamaica.
Of course.
Okay.
No, that big. But the Air Force One no carry vehicle.
No, yeah, but other plane they carry the vehicle.
Chopper, the big, two big propeller airplane. I think that carry probably that plane probably come with vehicle before. But what they do now, he was supposed to drive from airport. Cause they fix all the patrol along that road,
Yeah, the police here first.
Yeah, man, and every business must lock and all that. And they ain't about to drive.
Fly?
I think the plane just land and something, the military base. And
The
then
airport in Milan.
no, about to land at airport.
Oh, them have a runway.
Where?
Up at camp.
Yeah, I think so, man. But I know Air Force One in can't come here. I think I the chopper.
Okay.
I wanna chopper they carry. Yeah, but something you can use to, Apache, I think you can use all Apache too, But probably one of the reasons why I'm not bothered with the driving. Remember them people when they see amount of work putting in along the policy does come all the way to kick the people and say, hold on. Obama going to have the visa stamp with him. I say, what kind of question is that? No. I say, but tell what about going so far. The people are going, that people are business with him then. A visa. In other words, the people that would don't go bomb rush him if they can get a visa. So they don't need to put in all them security thing along the road. Foolishness. Who want to kill him?
Yeah, Marine one.
That are the chopper.
God.
Right.
Yeah, Marine one.
So the Marines can carry him, Air Force can carry him, and they have a Navy. Can come, the president can go in a ship too. And then you have the hospital that belongs to that would take care of them. So they have everything. All right, go to Galatians 4 and 26. So in Isaiah, he tells us, put on your beautiful garment, O Jerusalem. And in Galatians 4 and 26, he said what?
This is the book of Galatians chapter 4, verse 26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
Jerusalem above is free, which is the mother of us all. So, our motherland is not Ethiopia. Our motherland is Jerusalem.
God.
We were Jerusalem people from the time of Abraham. No, well, no, you wouldn't take it. Abraham was in Canaan,
In the land of Canaan.
Yeah. But you wouldn't count it from that time. You'll count it from when Jacob was in Jerusalem.
About Jerusalem back
in the name Jerusalem. No. But in the same era they were in.
City of Peace, that's what it means, right?
Must be so. I don't remember what the meaning of it. Um, when Jacob got his name, Jacob, where was he? He was up in the land. Our father Jacob, when the Most High made him the promise, he was in the land. He was in Canaan. When his mother got the vision, he was in the land. Sorry, and I call it vision. When she heard, oh, no wonder why. In the darkness, you really need somebody to turn on the light. Right, so Jerusalem is free. Jerusalem is the mother of us all, not Ethiopia, not Egypt, not not Nigeria, not Ghana, because a lot of our people are migrating to those regions as well. You know, I think Selassie did tell the rest of Africans say the land in giving us Bosa Shamani, it was a pilot project, you know. Yeah. To show the other African leaders, because the seat of the African, what do they call it? African what?
League of Nations.
No, not the League of Nations. Where all the African heads of state meet, not the continent. There's a, what they call the body there? There's a name for the body that all the 50 countries of Africa, the heads of state meet. Addis Ababa is where they meet. And he was the one who really organized them. Yeah, and you see, we organized the Hamites. The man knowing people them. It's only we don't know. ACP they call it. No. African. All right, if you Google it, if you Google something, you will get something. All right. So he put the seat of those all the African countries that he organized in Addis Ababa. And not one of those countries. All right. When he was around, Cuba was around. Haiti was a free country then. Why you not put one, since you say you're an Israelite, why you don't put one Israelite country with you in there? Yeah. It was all Hamite countries that he organized. And he used such a money to demonstrate to them that if he give up, if all them, especially the one them on the west, if they give a piece of land to we who were slaves around here, it would do good for their economy. And what has happened since? We, with our music and our culture, have put Ethiopia on the world map. Okay. South Africa, we were the first country to draw a sanction against South Africa. At time, big bad America, Europe, and all them places there, and up in arms with with South Africa. We who don't even have much, we don't have no political power really. We will have mouth. We draw sanction against South Africa. Right? So we have always been using our strength to glorify other nations. What about us? When are we going to glorify ourselves?
So, yeah, I know the AU with me.
What?
African Union.
Probably.
Yeah. I look for name, but that's the only one this is so far.
Probably. Yeah. That would tell you that what it is if it says African Union. Yeah. And their seat is in Addis Ababa.
Okay.
Hmm. Right in the Ethiopian capital. And if maybe it was the Rastafarian influence that caused this to the Eureka statue of Selassie right at the entrance of the building that they meet in of the African countries building. Of course, to the distaste of the government of Ethiopia, because they overthrew the king, overthrew their own king, but the African Union now put a statue of him, put it at the entrance when they come into the coming into their building. And why they do that is not to, they didn't really do it to upset the government, They do it looking back and say, boy, what a good thing this Amite brother did really organize us, man. Because they are now seeing the benefit of them coming together as as Amite nations.
Yeah.
Right. So, and who went and who was the voice behind? We're not telling them, man. It come like how we, our brothers, our Judah brothers, is the wings below America, make them get so rich. But what do you hear of them? Nothing. You don't hear anything of Judah. More than when police let him kill who he want to kill. So till the most I know killing them, the cops who not dead or resign. All right, so that's Galatians. Give me now Zephaniah 2 and 12. Zephaniah is not too far back from Matthew.
Yeah.
Only 3 chapters.
Another one can. This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 12. Ye Ethiopians also, ye shall be slain by my sword.
So the Most High is telling that he's going to kill the Ethiopians too.
Yeah.
So if that is our motherland, why would the Most High want to kill them all?
Yeah.
Hmm? Why the Most High swear after every nation? Indeed, swear after we took him swear again, swear mash up too. But he also swear that he was going to restore us. And now he's saying, ye Ethiopians shall be slain by my sword. Why? If they were the motherland for the Most High people, why would he want to kill them all? Because they are not. They have been evil against us, just like the other nations. They enslaved we couldn't live in peace, and so on. It took them 100 years, 100 and almost 40 years to abolish slavery when the white man, who the white man we see as the most cruel oppressor, yet still it took them 100 and approximately 40 years after the white man abolished slavery to do the same. The money was so sweet coming to them from slavery that they couldn't let it go.
Yeah.
Right? Their Hamite, those stinking men live lavish lifestyle because on our backs, on the backs of our brothers who get caught up around that side. Hmm? So it's like this. Ethiopia, Jerusalem fell. Some went east, some of our people went east, some went west, some went north, some went south. But everybody experienced the same thing. Oppression. Why? Because one, the curses is one, and two, the other nation really and truly don't really like you. Right? Whether you want to say them bad mind you or whatever you want, whichever way you want to put it. Because they look at you and they see you smell better than them, you dress better than them, you do everything better than them. But at the same time, they are the one dropping the whip on you. You say, oh, them a slave. You was the original boss's slave. Right? So these Amites realize that. And the other nation, every nation, they realize that. And so it's just like you, when your woman go against the white woman, why you think they don't like them? Because they're sexier than them. It's just now, with technology, they are able to pump little, what they call it, silicone. Pump little silicone here, pump little silicone there, and start to look like our woman. Pump silicone on them look they're ugly when they do it because it's not natural. But whichever way, them thick lips look better upon Jolie. She have, he said, they have some Israelite in their blood. Angela Jolie. with her white thick lip. Maybe she was one of the earlier ones who get it, whatever, them pumping themselves, injecting themselves. I don't know. Maybe it's natural. I don't know. But they are all we know, they envy our women for the way our women look naturally. Right? They envy you for your natural abilities. All right, the Sunshine Girls. Sunshine Girls are who out in Jamaica?
They are the netball.
The netball team. You know, there was a time we were number 1 in the world with netball. We were number 2. I think we're about 4 or so now. All the time, whichever place we were, even when we were number 2, dropped down to number 4, Australia became number 1. Those white girls, they always play the Sunshine Girls. Why? They say this, and what I'm telling you is what come out of their mouth. They compare both. They say they spend a lot of money on the Australian netballer girls, right?
Yeah.
Put a lot of money in training, give them AstroTurf and all them bossy training equipment and everything. Yet still, when they look at Jamaica, who is way up there in the world ratings for netball, don't spend quarter, not even 1/8 of that money. And they have it hard to beat us.
It's not a walkover.
It's not a walkover. So their coach a couple years ago said they like playing the reggae girls because they know they are playing against natural talent. And they admire that. That's what came out of the Australians, the white woman mouth. We are playing natural talent. So you see, when we bust their ass, you see when they go back home and give it to female girls them. Imagine, look how much money we're spending on you. And these girls, I wonder if you know that the money is spent on these girls. And you can't beat them. So in other words, give them the push to be better. Because money is being spent there. It's just like our runners. When we come on in Beijing, you know, in China, what do you think Europe start doing? Then go through all them primary school. Well, they don't use the word primary, but then call them primary education.
Where?
Europe and America.
Preschool.
Preschool is like our basic school.
Okay.
Junior school. They go through all their junior school and they report the expensive AstroTurf and thing and say, imagine these Jamaicans train on grass and we spend so much money. We can't beat them. Train on grass too. So they make all them young athletes start training on grass in Europe, big England.
And Slovakia, that was really a disadvantage.
What?
Like the grass. The grass training.
Yeah.
Like it make we not as good as it should.
No. What you mean before Beijing?
Meaning the poor quality things that we have.
Mm-hmm.
It work against you and it help with.
Is it helping? Because the grass is slidey. So you don't get that grip. So you develop a natural ability to push.
Okay,
so when they go on the world stage now and then get the AstroTurf, there's no sliding there.
God.
And they have the spikes. When that grip, them shoot like a gun.
God.
So they all right. When you look at our first 100-meter world record holder, man. What's his name again?
You see him, boy?
No, you see it's not the first one. That's how far it's not the first one, man. From Claude McKay and Herb McKinley days. You never see any of those long time races. Claude McKay. Herb McKinley was our first 100-meter world record holder.
Okay.
But he didn't get the gold. At that Olympic, he didn't get the gold medal. He broke the world record in one of the heats. And this is his story. They never did have much good coaching from Jamaica, and the leadership when they went out wasn't that effective. So he now spoke to one of the coaches from one of their European teams and asked him, like I said, by the way, is this that we're running now? Is this the finals? And the coach said, yes, man, this is the finals. So he went into that final heat and give it all he got and got the gold medal and get the world record, break the world record at that stage. So by the time they called the finals, he was already burned out. So he didn't get the gold medal. They trick him. No person, always a trickster.
Okay.
So
go and get silver.
I don't remember for silver. I don't remember if we go up on the stage, you know. Bronze he get. I don't know, but I don't even think he make a podium. But he was the one who was the leader. When we go to Beijing, that same Herb McKinley, remember how the white man treat him? When him come back now and be coach, and he was the one who led the delegation. And he remember the downfalls that he had. And he cut against telling team, I don't speak to none of them white guys. We tell you what is what and so on. Right? He provided leadership for the runners then. And what happened? It paid off. Merlin not didn't have leadership, but boy, the drugs of the other nation, they did much. Merlin not the fastest sprinter we did have. I know she take the drug. The other, the Russians, third, so it was called a bronze queen because all them white girls who get the first and second. Yeah, man, that for sure you say we had the natural, when we say we Israelites have the natural talent for a long time. Right? And even the black Americans, the white man pump them with drugs too. Yeah, that was what was happening. While we were running on natural talents. Yeah. This was the natural ability of being an Israelite. So put we and all them other nations out there, politically, socially, economically, put it on a level playing field. They can't beat you. Mm-hmm. So this is why Christ is coming back to level the playing field. Right? Economically, all of the other nations get at least 250, almost 300 years head start of us. Right. Yeah. Because of slavery. Yeah. And yet still you come find now a lot of sons of slave, rotten rich more and many of them. Right. So the natural ability of being of an Israelite is there. And this was what this Ethiopian man saw and knew, because the lineage of the kings would have told him that. His historical records would have told him that. And he studied. He was a man who was well read, He read a lot. Yes, he read a lot. Can't take that from him. That was how he was able to know who you were. The thing you know, say you're Israelite. He knew you were the sons of the slaves, and he knew say some strength, a lot of strength in you, and he know that your strength could have lift the African continent, and he used that. But we now don't understand politics and would not listen to our father. Gave our glory to them. But the most I say, he more take revenge. Hey, you talk about, oh, God is not like this. We must not be revengeful. No, this is the God where you serve. I visit the sins of the fathers and the what?
And the children.
Third and fourth generation. You want more revenge than that? Can we, any man now can take them kind of revenge? It's only like a bad country can remember. And you talk about third and fourth generation, you talk about 60, 70, 80 years from now. Not even America, no, do that. Not even them. The longest grudge they carry is against Cuba. And it's take time. They're working on it. Right? And the most I say, him carry that grudge down to the third and fourth generation. Don't make him carry it for you. Make him carry it. Don't make him carry it on you. Let him carry it for you and avenge you, your plight and the mother nation. Yeah, trust me.
Yeah, David makes Solomon take out vengeance for his enemies. So, you know what I mean? when him about to die,
Yeah.
Solomon to avenge him and enemies.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
That's the reality. But your oppressor don't want you to know that. Least you seek to take vengeance on him.
Yeah.
All right. Baruch 4 and 3. Baruch, that is in the Apocrypha.
Okay, yeah. God, this is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 3. Give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation.
This is what we are doing. This natural ability that we have as an Israelite to rise, we're giving it to another nation. Right now, many of us giving it to the Ethiopians.
Yeah.
Right? The things that are profitable unto us, we're giving it to them. We talk about Ark of the Covenant down there. We talk about the lineage of Solomon. Right? Right now, that is the only one you'll be able to point on and say, Solomon lineage. You can't show, we know Israelite, but you know which lineage you come from. You don't know you come from Benjamin.
Yeah.
And you're still not sure,
Yeah.
But on a broad scale, the majority of us in the West Indies is Benjamin. But what if, remember, some Judite was mixed up and some Levite? What if many of us are Levites?
Yeah.
The Levites was among all the cities of the 12 tribes, What if some of us are Levites? You're still not sure, eh?
Yeah.
But you are saying that this man is the lineage of Solomon. So he is the only one you could trace his lineage in Israel. So that shows there's something wrong. Yeah.
And the curse said, we shall discontinue from our heritage.
So how them not
How
discontinue?
them not discontinue.
From
Solomon.
from Solomon all the way down to Christ.
Yeah.
When Christ was crucified, they had a king, you know. And for the many years after, they had king.
Yeah.
And even when they overthrew Selassie, the country wasn't without rulership.
Yeah.
It's just that they didn't call the leader a king then. They called him maybe a president. But they would have never been without rulership. When the Bible tells you that the gates, Judah mourned, the gates thereof what? Language.
Yeah.
That is what again?
Jeremiah.
14
and 3.
All right.
14 and this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
Judah is the same tribe that they are claiming that Selassie come from.
Yeah.
And it says Judah mourneth.
Right.
It's talking about all the tribe, all the members of Judah.
Yeah.
The gates thereof language, they tell you that Judah is without leadership.
Right.
They are black onto the ground. Because they are no leadership, but they go married into other races and things. So we now become like a speckled bird, having so many different colors, right? The cry of Jerusalem is talking about the mourning of the people is gone up. So Judah here really is the southern kingdom, including you Benjamites and half of Levi. We are in mourning, and our leaders are not there to stop it. Well, we know, we little Benjamites in Jamaica, where Rastafarianism started, have to now be the gatekeepers as much as we can for our people. It's your duty to hunt them out of the to fish them out of the Rastafarian, and out of the idolatrous religions that they are in. It's your duty. So the only thing we can do is just arm ourselves properly, because you go every week we go on the road, we hear the talk. And but you know what is the good thing that is happening? When last you speak to somebody on the road who don't know that he's an Israelite.
Oh, one person yesterday.
One.
Out of the many.
Out of the many.
Yeah. It was a girl and she said, first year here.
First year hear that.
Normally.
So till now, when you hear you kind of you have to hold your tongue to say, you just on the tip of your tongue and which rock you're under. But you can't really lick them that way. And most of those who say it's the first year is women. Right. But almost everybody who you book on the road now and you give them a flyer. Yeah, we hear it before. If they can't sure prove it to you or anything, you know. They say, yeah, we hear it, I've heard it before. Right. So the message is going around little by little. There was a time when we didn't know. Even though the Rastas put it in songs from long time, from the Black Conscious days. You have the fast leaders, them who were like Malcolm X. The Jamaican version, nice way to put it. The Jamaican version of the Malcolm X's, the Owls and the national hero, the name again, Marcus Garvey. They knew we were Israelite, but they could not prove it. They couldn't prove anything biblically. How it go? They went into Harlem and they heard it, right? And there were Rastas who were convinced that they were Israelite, who couldn't prove it. Because what the Rasta them used to say, Well, if you know which tribe you belong to, it depends which month you were born.
Right.
But of course, you know who came up with that? The heathens.
God.
So as to put themselves in the 12th tribe.
Right.
So you see a Chinese Rasta and him say, I was born in this month, so I'm of the tribe of Dan.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
They say them clever, you know.
Which takes away from the pro-blackness of the movement, you know?
That was the Ethiopian World Federation. And you see,
Right.
they are the ones who became 12 tribe, who lead the people ever stray further. Right? So you have to rein them back. See, when you drop it on the guys up so the other day, the makers, the peacemakers,
God.
you hear the man say, really? If me go Ethiopia, we picking an Ethiopian? He was in disbelief.
God.
And his disbelief was not that he himself not an Ethiopian. Maybe he say, all right, we can live with that. But the picnic don't recognize as an Ethiopian. The only thing left to come out of his mouth is, my God, this thing is false.
God.
Because for years they have been preaching the doctrine and not following what is happening out there. Right? And if it wasn't for the lady there who is not a Rastafarian, who spin the news to the gleaner, we probably still don't know because they want to take this embarrassment from among them.
God.
And Muta Baruka know. That's why I'm talking about throw the Bible. Yeah, man. The whole of them, and many of them will fly, because enough of them go visit, you know. But out of shame, they can't say, you know, so we're wrong.
God.
Because they have gone there and they have moved amongst the Ethiopians and they have realized that these people are not like us. Why? If we come through, but here what them putting now, is it true we come through slavery? Then say is they themselves now say, oh, true we come through slavery, man. We are the problem.
We can adapt to them.
And we can adapt to them. But no, we are not the problem. They are the problem. Well, if you want to call it a problem, we are just different people. Right? They believe that when their woman is on their period, it's just an ordinary thing, like you get a cut or something.
God.
If she has to go on the road, she put on her clothes and she sit down anywhere and she left the blood. The man see it, him might just sit down and eat him no business. To him it's nothing. But these was what our law, our God found disgusting. That he gave us laws to counter the ways of these heathens.
God.
And now this is the life that is blowing into you now, you know, through the laws, you know. All right. So somebody's sick. What do? They keep him in the congregation, in their population, same way. What our law say? Him sick, quarantine him, isolate him,
God.
shut him away for a couple of days in the temple with the priest. Make the priest deal with him. You understand?
God.
So these were not our ways, and they have gone, even though slavery, and they still don't understand the Bible. There are certain things from the same law that has become cultured in us. So they go down there now and they see different things. Because basic hygiene that has become cultured in you, you know.
Yeah.
Right? Why you go down there now and every time you turn your nose carrying a piece. Filth. You, amongst them, because most of them still don't properly know if you discard, especially them who believe in them tribal ways. Don't properly know to discard of their bodily excrements.
Yeah.
So you're probably smelling it in the place. Right?
Yeah.
Probably the cleanest place down there, Sasha man.
And Rasta man them bring that.
Yeah.
Luck, yeah.
Can't me not take that from the Rasta them. Yeah, them clean. Yeah, some frownsy one, yes. But the other Rasta them admonish them. But they would have brought cleanliness there. Sashaman is probably the cleanest place in terms of hygiene or how the place look to.
Yes, after what the brother said, looks up.
Yeah.
Definitely looks up.
Because when the outside people then come amongst them, then frownsy. You have to teach them hygiene. Right? So they are benefiting from us. And the other African nations who now giving, they don't really give land, but you can come in their country, there you get citizenship. And they help you to settle. You can get some giving land, you know. So you get the land and you get citizenship. Everything else, why you on your own, you know.
Yeah. Next week if you bring your money, your resource.
So what you think it's about?
Yeah.
That's what that means, Sasha man. But we are the ones who keep giving ourselves unto the other nations for nothing. Right? So our people are in mourning. All right, question. None?
Yeah, so no question.
All right, with that, we pass the class to priest and officer Kayadwan. Officer Kayadwan.
These are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to marry. Slovakia, permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18 and verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3 verse 8 to 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew and is pronounced ma'aishara. 10% of any penny, of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you'd like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. That is the feast of dedication or Hanukkah. That is the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days. This is on Sunday, the 28th of November for 8 days. You can find this in 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 52 to 61. Reminding Akiam and Aquatiam to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he's to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. So we're going to prayers then.
Right.
Alright, so with that we say I Madu, which means to stand. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, Sar, Lapanya Akodam, which means turn, face the east. Abanawa, Shabashamaya, Kwadash, Aya, Shamka, Yaawa, Malakwatka, Taba'a, Batazaka, Aya, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Aya, Washamaya,
Rashomai,
Nathanawa,
No.
Lakam,
Lakam.
Kal,
Kol.
Yawam,
Yawam,
Wasalat Lanawa, Kawabwat Nawa,
Kawabwat Nawa,
Kasalat Nawa,
Kasalat Nawa,
Kawabwat Yanawa,
Kawabwat Nawa,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Tabaya Anawa,
Tabaya Nawa,
Wanasayawan,
Wanasaya,
Abad, Awashai Nawa,
Washayna,
Maya,
Maya,
Rai,
Maya,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Laka,
Laka,
Amalakwat,
Amalakwa,
Wa'ala,
Wahala,
Wa'ataparat,
Watapara,
La'aiwalamya,
Laiwalana.
Ama.
In English, Our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread,
Give us this day our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts,
and forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into
And
temptation,
lead us not into
but
temptation,
deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
the power and the glory.
and the power, and the glory.
For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever. So be it. Amen.
Forever so be it. Amen.
Praying for the curse. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
and all things living.
and all things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now.
right now.
Send evils and curses,
Send evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and
to
destruction
the heathen
to the heathens
that speak against us,
that speak against us,
thy prophets,
thy prophets,
the teacher,
the
the
teachers,
princes,
the princes,
the priests,
the priests,
the Israelite brothers and the school.
the Israelite brothers and schools.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction
to the heathen,
to the heathens,
and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel
and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel
that refuse to give to the school.
that refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Force the riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction
to the Edomites
to the Edomites
and the nation
and the nations
and their drug dealers,
and their drug dealers,
the court system,
the court
the
system,
prison system,
prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
the Pope,
Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
Skinheads,
Skinheads,
Posse Comitazi,
Pasikamatazi,
the gay movement,
gay
the
movement,
lesbian
the
movement,
lesbian movement,
spies,
spies,
workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
NASA space program,
NASA space program,
Army,
Army,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marines,
Marines,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
open up the internet
open up the internet
and the airways,
and the airways,
the cable access channel,
cable access channel,
and the radio
and the
channel.
radio channel.
Convict the spirit of any of thy people
Convict the spirit of any of thy people
that seek to stop
that
us
seek to stop us
and bring swift destruction
and bring swift destruction
to all the heathen
all the heathens
that stand in the way
that stand in the way
or try to stop us from broadcasting your words
and try to stop us from broadcasting your word
throughout the planet Earth.
through the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues,
Let loose all the plagues,
cause them to go to and fro
cause them to go to and fro
through the earth
through the earth
and consume them.
and consume them.
Let the plague shake
Let the plagues shake
the house of the thief and the murderer.
the house of the thief and the murderer.
Let Yahweh Shai, Michael, and Gabriel
Let Yahweh Shai, Michael, and Gabriel
come down with the flying saucers
come down with the flying saucers
and punish all the heathens
and punish all the heathens
that come up against us
that come up against us
as we speak thy word.
as we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known by all
Cause it to be known by all
that is the angel that hath done it.
that is the angel that has done it.
Cause it to be spread through the media,
Cause it to be spread through the media,
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you always, so be.
Thank you always, so be it. All right, this is the prayer for the poor in Hebrew. Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai.
Baba Kosha.
Baba Kosha.
Nathan Lanawa.
Nathan Lanawa.
Aka.
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 Larpa'a.
Larpa'a.
Kalmakala.
Kalmakala.
Wakal Marawa.
Wakal Madawa.
Aka.
Aka.
Lata'a.
Lata'a.
Amatazaria.
Matazar.
Aka.
Aka.
La Akwaya.
Lakwaya.
Amatia.
Amati.
Aka.
Aka.
Irakawat.
Ilakawat.
Atamala.
Atabala.
Nagarshan.
Nagarshan.
Ba'asham Yahweh Shai.
Ba'asham Yahweh Shai.
Tuadama.
Tuadama. In English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
Power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
Power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out in the name of Yahweh.
To cast them out in the name of Yahweh.
Thank you, so be.
Thank you, so be. All right, this is the prayer for the blessings, the blessing of Israel in Hebrew. Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai.
Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Wayasharala.
Wayasharala.
Wa'a. Wayatsapariam.
Wayatsapariam.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapa'a.
Rapa'a.
Magan.
Magan.
Agan.
Agan.
Commanding General Yahanna.
Commanding General Yahanna.
The generals.
The generals.
Captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
Troopers.
The troopers.
The young men and the sisters.
The young men and the sisters.
Ba'asham Yahushai.
Ba'asham Yahushai.
Toward Aman.
Toward Aman. All right, what we just said in English is, Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless, which is Jesus, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones in the name of Jesus. Thank you, so be.
All right, with that, sir, men of Israel, turn and face the teacher. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, I Madum Shabbat, I Madum, Barak, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai Barakatah.
Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai Barakatah.
Yalamata, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, turn and face the sisters. Men of Israel, I Madum Shabbat, I Madum, Barak, Yahweh Shabbat Ba'asham Yahushai. Yalamata, class dismissed.
All right. In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And their religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Yahanna. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up-and-coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel, who are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today, would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said He would send plagues upon the earth before He frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today and call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K Jamaica. Shalom. All right, Shalom, Israel. Remember to like, subscribe to our videos, encourage your friends to subscribe, and the sign-in sheet in the description. Fill it out for attendance. And remember to go to ISUPK.com to pay your tithes. Yeah, pay your tithes to those who are helping your people. Those of us in the truth helping your people. And with that we say, Shalom. We need peace.